when I was in campus, for the 3 years that I was in campus, to be very honest with you, George, those years passed me by. I did well. I got a second class upper honors, but those years passed me by. I think like I lost my life there. And I don't want to look back 5 years in time or 10 years in time and see this as time lost also. In this feeling that I have right now, I need to have like yes, that was the right foundation that was set there. So over to you.
You realize you have not told me what is your addiction.
Sorry?
You have not told me what your addiction is.
Oh, porn and masturbation.
And it started when you were how old? But you were handed a ready-made disruption in your own parents' family. Your father came and told you,
yes,
the family I thought I was building is crumbling. Your mother comes in and tells you,
yes,
your father wants to kill me.
Because my dad recorded my mom when they were talking. My mom was howling heavy insults. So to me, I was like, hey.
The reason you know there is a recording because you listened to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Had you heard them in real life arguing the same way? You heard them on the recording?
Not particularly, but there was a time. You remember that time when I told you my mom saw text messages from my dad's phone?
Uh-huh.
That time it erupted. That was the first-hand experience that I had, and it was tough.
But when you told me that story, you told me, but you were isolated because you lived in a different city and you lived in a boarding school.
Yes. Because even after like 2 weeks, I went straight back to Mombasa to study.
Exactly. So your trauma is equivalent to the trauma of a frog being put in boiling water,
hot water,
and the lid on top of it. Your little brother and your sister's trauma are being warmed up from the cold water until they see all these boiling points right in front of their eyes. So your trauma hits you different, which now comes with your addiction. You want to autocorrect immediately, just like the flag. The moment it touches the surface of the hot water, it want to autocorrect. You now take, I'm using the matters in your hands with a pun intended here for the 60th time. You want to take matters into your hand and prevent all this from replicating. It's overdue. Yeah.
And now to the biggest thing, Georgia. I have an addiction, and I acquired this addiction when I was in high school, and I've tried as much as possible to leave it. I get to a point where I'm free of it, then I just go back. I keep going back, and I want to tie it to some trauma. I want to say I've had trauma, but in real sense, if you put me down and ask me if I've had any trauma, I don't think so. It's only that load of me and my father having some issues. And so there was one time I had a bit of a quarrel with my mother, but I settled that. I don't know how to deal with this. And sometimes I feel like once I deal with this addiction, that's only when I can truly realize my potential. And the conundrum comes in whereby, despite me having these thoughts in my head that I have to beat this addiction so that I can be the best version of myself, I keep winning. I've changed jobs. I've got double the salary. My bosses are speaking highly of me. My previous boss, my current boss. Like, even when I left, the woman who instigated almost my departure speaks highly of me, says, that guy was a smart guy, it's only that blah, 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 blah. So, and this is where the reason why I actually even called is, first of about the issue with my father, the issue with the job, and now this part of addiction, and this part of where I'm seeing myself not enough. I'm seeing myself not disciplined enough to persevere, and I don't know where it's stemming from. Because I want to be the best version of myself as much as possible. I've made some mistakes on my end. In the case where now maybe you've dealt with women and all that, blah blah blah, you've done that, and those are some things that I can handle. But this one is really troubling me, and days seem to go by, and I'm not grasping what I want to do. I'd tell myself, I want to do this. I want to be the best version, but starting, where do I start? Okay, tell myself, I'll start waking up early in the morning doing this. But now I have this side gig who I'm doing for Mr. S. I stay late in the evening, let's say until even 12 at night. So you see, even my sleep is short. So I end up not waking that early that I proposed to. So in short, what I'm trying to say is, I'm seeing myself somewhere high, but my foundation is shaky to where I want to reach. The foundation that I have is shaky. Part of it, I think it's discipline. The second one, I think, is that addiction. But my problem is if I have these issues, they should at least tell me in terms of my output. But my output seems to be okay. Everything seems to be okay. Remember, one of the guys who had spoken about soaring in dreams and all that. And I think I had a recent, beginning of this year, I also had a similar one of soaring. So that's where I am, and that is my situation currently. So that's the reason why I called and I asked to speak to you. So that, because remember, some of these things, to be very honest, I only speak of them with my cousin. This cousin of mine is the son to that uncle who is usually seen as a messenger. But this son of his, we are so close. We actually do things with him. We actually have a joint savings with him. We are doing something constructive with him. Yeah, he's my plug when it comes to buying clothes and all that. So with him, I have a true connection and a real relationship with him. And in short, apart from the connection of a parent, his connection is the second most that I value, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. And apart from that, that's why I'm tied up. That's the only person whom I could talk to about these things. He also has his piece of his own trauma with his parents and all that. So I cannot speak to my dad. I can't tell him some of these things, because even if I go to him and ask him advice about me moving to a higher job and getting double the salary, he'll see an opportunity to make me more. And in one of our recent conversations, he actually told me, hey, if things change on your end, please let me know, because things they are bad. So it's like, the more reason I should not tell you how much I'm earning right now, because it will even delay the process longer and longer. So that is why I opt to maybe somebody like you, I actually prefer talking to strangers, because you have no way of coming back to me. Now that is my emotion. You have no way of coming back to me and telling me and using it against me. But somebody who is close to you can actually use it to ruin you. But so I prefer talking out to strangers, and if I can get something out from you, then the better. But yeah, that's my situation. And lastly, before I hand over the mantle is, when I was in campus, for the 3 years that I was in campus, to be very honest with you, George, those years passed me by. I did well. I got a second class upper honors, but those years passed me by. I think like I lost my life there. And I don't want to look back 5 years in time or 10 years in time and see this as time lost also. In this feeling that I have right now, I need to have like yes, that was the right foundation that was set there. So over to you.
You realize you have not told me what is your addiction.
Sorry?
You have not told me what your addiction is.
Oh, porn and masturbation.
And it started when you were how old?
2016. Yeah, so I was just turning 18.
You were in school.
Yes.
When did your father come to school and tell you that there is another... What was the message he came to tell you in school?
Oh, about the... no, he never came to school to tell me that.
No, there is something he came to tell you when you're in school. Is it?
No.
Is it about the separation with your mother?
Oh, okay. That was when I was in high school.
How old were you?
I was, that is 2015, that was 17.
You are 17.
That was 17, yes.
And you have had this addiction from when?
18.
And what did he tell you when you were 17?
It was more of the separation with my, their quarrels with my mother, telling me that your mom doesn't listen to me, this and that. A woman was become independent, you cannot control her. It was more of their issues, and it used to bother me when I was there. But when I go back to, there was a time, there was a time when I was in Mombasa. I think I was staying with my uncle in Mombasa. My mom called me. I think it was about that time when the year that I was turning, I think 18. My mom called me and told me, hey, your dad wants to kill me, something of the sort. I think that they had a quarrel. My mom was insulting my dad, and my dad, I think, hit her. And so I didn't know what to do. I was just there, shook. My uncle had not yet arrived, so I had to call my uncle now, the messenger, the one who usually is sent to because I didn't know what to do with that information. So I just called him and I told him, hey, mom just called me, tells me that they've had a quarrel with my dad. Dad just hit her. So I don't know what's happening, so you just check it out. And then he told me, then I think they talked and all that,
So the whole time we have talked here...
sorry?
The whole time we have talked here, you have not mentioned a girlfriend.
Oh, me? I currently have one.
Okay.
Yes.
How old were you when you had a first girlfriend?
To be honest with you, I usually can't count this one as my real first girlfriend. The previous ones were just that more like an online girlfriend, then you meet, then inaisha within like 3 months, 2 months. So for this one is I think the first real one I'm about to make her for long. Sorry?
How old were you when you had your sexual encounter with a woman?
I was 23.
You're now 27.
Yes.
So your father comes to you and tell you that
yes,
the family he had created is falling apart.
Correct.
Yeah.
He was actually telling me what I had come to build on is a mess. And he had told me at that particular time, sometimes I feel like I should just leave and never come back. Sometimes I usually think to myself, you should have done that maybe.
And now,
yeah,
and then your mom call you shortly after and tell you that the guy that he used to create you wants to kill her.
Now a bit later, yes.
But then masturbation starts at 18.
Yes.
So if let's not use as an example. If I have a girlfriend and we are dating and we are having a very good life and things are going so well,
yes,
and then I break up with her, but
yes,
unbeknown to me, she is pregnant.
yes, yes,
But we have broken.
yes.
What is the first thing that girl is going to do?
Sorry, repeat that question.
What is the first thing that girl is going to do?
Once she gives birth, she'll bring the child to me.
She did not tell me she's pregnant.
Okay.
But we have broken up.
Uh-huh.
We had big dreams of making a family together, and things were going so well, and all of a sudden I have thrown her under the bus right the day before she was going to break the good news that she's pregnant. What do you think is the first thing she's going to do?
Abort.
It's only natural, right? It's understandable. And the society would say, I don't agree with her, but I understand. Because whatever she was preparing to bring this life to has been disrupted. Now, she is the carrier of life.
Yes.
You are the giver of life.
Yes.
If you went back in time, now,
yes.
Now I am the boyfriend who made the girl pregnant.
Yes.
The girl is pregnant, he doesn't know, and the girl has no choice but to abort.
Yes.
If the guy went back in time,
yes,
and he knew that there was going to be a breakup,
yes,
would he impregnate the girl?
No.
That is what you're doing. That is what you're doing. You have this damage that was dropped on you when you're 17. Yes. About a family not working. Your own family.
Yes.
Your father telling you the thing he thought he was building is not working. It's going down.
Yes.
Then your mother comes with a phone call and say, the person I build life with wants to kill me. What do you think? What do you think that is going to do to you? What do you think that did to you? You are preemptively killing life before it happens. You are the boyfriend who knows. You are the boyfriend who would go back in time and know that this relationship is not going to work. So I will stop at the point of getting this girl pregnant. Now you leave that over and over and over and over and over. In your psyche, you are the one who gives life. You are seeing your own parents' life getting decimated. So you are taking action in your own hands to prevent that kind of a life happening because of the dysfunction that is so life and real and imminent in your own family. That is the effect of that damage. Normally, you should date at 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. When did you get your first sexual encounter?
23.
23. And put 3 condoms on.
No, man, just one.
Because now you are taking the power to prevent the inevitable into your own hands.
Yes.
And the only thing you can do about this dysfunction, that is the greatest damage in your life, is to prevent a multiplication of your own. So you continually kill your seed. And you have avoided for 5-6 years to interact with a girl. Majority of people have sexual interactions when they are teenagers. Even adults at 17.
Yes.
You know, Romeo and Juliet kind of a thing.
Yes.
Healthy. Insisting on the part of it. When you see a delay, chances are there is an underneath damage. And for you now, you've taken matters into your own hands to prevent a replication of what has failed in your own family. And even when you get a girl at the age of 23, your very first instinct is, I should not multiply.
Yeah, of course.
And the subsequent relationships, you kill them within weeks, you said.
But we haven't reached that point. But at some point, it was almost...
Not the one you have currently. You say the ones you get them online, on IG or wherever, where they post their good photos. Your nature kicks in.
At the beginning.
And then when she come into your face, you remember your damage at 18.
Yeah.
And you kill that one. How many relationships have you walked away from?
There are actually not many. I think there are 3.
If you look back objectively, was there any valid reason for breaking up with these girls?
No. One left, but the others, no valid reason.
Yeah. Because the problem is not them, the problem is you. The one you have currently, are you staying in the same city?
No. She's still at her parents' house.
Why did you have to add that there?
You asked me if I stay with her.
Yes, but it's how old is she?
She's turning 20. She turned 20 this year.
Yeah. Because now there is an added layer of the parent helping you in protecting the possibility of you multiplying. You like it like that. She has to she has to go through a lot of hoops to see you. Yeah.
By a lot of hoops, what do you mean?
I mean, she's not free to see you whenever she wants.
Oh, yes. Yes. I remember at the very first times it was really difficult for her to even to go past 5 p.m. with her.
Yeah. You like it like that. Because now that take care of your trauma. Now you have a trauma navigating avenue. That this is the reason this cannot happen because of this.
Until when now somebody like you says it.
Okay, you had disappeared there for a minute. Is that the only thing you had said earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just the same thing I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, in actual sense, when for example now you're talking about this trauma thing, I don't get to experience that it's a trauma when I'm there. But now when you're explaining it, it's something to ponder on and see, like, because when you say, like, I like it like that, I'm like, okay. Because I'm not really sure if that's it. That's it.
It's in the sense that it's the only thing that you have control over. How many times have you told yourself condoms bust?
With how we no longer use condoms. But I'm very strict on the safe days. I even have the calendar in my phone.
You have the app. You are the one with the app.
No. There's this app they call Flow app. So apparently you can join it with your partner. So once she updates it, I get a feedback on my end also.
Mm-hmm. How did I know that?
Yeah. Suddenly you become so clever.
Because you have to have dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's so that you remain in control of this thing that is a cause of your trauma. Because your father came and told you he is losing control of the family he thought he was building. This one here, you have to have control over. Continually. Do I know how you're going to overcome that trauma? No, I don't. Is that extra vigilance going to come and bite you in the ass? I don't know. I mean, you have the flow sheet.
Yes. But that flow up is not really to be trusted at times. You have to be extra.
There you go.
And there's a date delayed with almost 14 days. I felt like the earth should swallow.
You were more worried than she was worried.
To be actually, I'm the one who even asked her, "Hey, have your periods come?" Now, when you put it that way, now I understand, because I'm the one who
because you were scared of losing control. You are like, shit. Now I'm back to 17 again. When I'm witnessing my own father losing control.
And you see, for me, I never thought that, because I've always sat down with myself. I sat down with myself around 2 years back and asked myself, do I really have this trauma? And I think I just told myself, no, you don't have, because you haven't experienced it firsthand. The people who genuinely have this trauma is your sister and your brother, who have the real trauma, because they're the ones who are involved there. They saw the dirty work happening. You were shielded way away. So I think I gave myself an excuse of that.
So let me ask you about that.
Yes.
And this experiment was expounded by Condoleezza Rice, the Secretary of State back in the George W. Bush days.
Okay.
If you want to boil a frog,
okay,
do you boil the water and then throw the frog inside? Okay, let's ask me another way. If you throw a frog in boiling water, what is going to happen?
It's gonna jump.
Thank you. If you put a frog in cold water,
yeah. Yes.
then bring the temperature of the fire gradually. The frog will
never adapt to the heat, thinking it's normal,
and it will never know when to jump. The trauma of your little brother and your sister are totally different from the trauma of you jumping into hot water. They saw all of it happening.
Yeah.
It's in a very twisted way. They were adapting to the trauma. They were being prepared every day, every argument, every disagreement, every little fight, every shouting. They were being prepared to the trauma. Every discovery of babies and women out there, They were being gradually prepared into the trauma. So their trauma is totally different. You are going to end up as a boiled frog, the three of you.
I jump out.
Yes. But you were handed a ready-made disruption in your own parents' family. Your father came and told you,
Yes.
the family I thought I was building is crumbling. Your mother comes in and tells you,
Yes.
your father wants to kill me.
Yes.
You are
And,
the
and in that regard, even my dad, because my dad recorded my mom when they were talking, and my mom was howling heavy insults. So to me, I was like, hey.
The reason
So
you
I
know,
also
the reason you know there is a recording because you listened to it.
Yes.
Had you had them in real life arguing the same way? You had them on the recording?
Not particularly, but there was a time. You remember that time when I told you my mom saw text messages from my dad's phone?
Uh-huh.
That time it erupted. That was the first-hand experience that I had, and it was tough.
But when you told me that story, you told me, but you were isolated because you lived in a different city and you lived in a boarding school.
Yes. Because even after like 2 weeks, I went straight back to Mombasa to study.
Exactly. So your trauma is equivalent to the trauma of a frog being put in boiling water
Hot water.
and the lid on top of it. Your little brother and your sister's trauma are being warmed up from the cold water until they see all these boiling points right in front of their eyes. So your trauma hits you different, which now comes with your addiction. You want to autocorrect immediately, just like the flag. The moment it touches the surface of the hot water, it wants to autocorrect. You now take, I'm using the matters in your hands with a pun intended here for the 60th time. You want to take matters into your hand and prevent all this from replicating.
Yeah.
So you have to find out how to heal yourself from it by involving yourself in healthy relationships.
Yes.
Which is why it's important that kids get into healthy relationships in the Romeo and Juliet stage. In American culture and Latin American culture, those healthy relationships are encouraged in Sweet 16 and Quinceañera. They are encouraged in homecoming and the homecoming queen and the homecoming king, and they are encouraged in prom. They are encouraged in whatever these other activities that happen around in teenage years. They are always involving a boy and a girl. Always.
Yes.
To cultivate a culture of healthy interaction between men and women. And for what it's worth, that's why in North America, men marry their age mates because they have cultivated healthy relationships. If you look at it much later, then the graph shows a different results of the divorce rates from the same demographics and the same first marriages, but the cultivation of the healthy interaction between men and women at a very, 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 very young age, very tender age, formidable years, it counts for healthy interactions. You heard me telling this 21-year-old guy that I want him to have healthy interaction with women because he's 21. I don't know if you remember that episode I had.
The one who had relationships with older women.
Yes, and then he found a virgin in college, but he was leaving college. That one.
I think so.
Yes. Yeah. It's very, very, very important. Very important to have healthy interactions with women. It was of paramount importance to have kept mixed boarding schools in Kenya, in that controlled environment where boys and girls are interacting together, and the boys are learning how strange and other than human characters these women are at a very early age. Now they are meeting in college at 19 and 20. And a woman does what a woman does, and this guy is like, I don't know this thing. They react.
Yeah, true.
They should have known them at 14.
Yes. Heartbroken earlier.
Yes. I mean, I can't remember what her name was. We were in Form 1. What was that girl's name? I wanted her for a girlfriend. And she completely refused to be my girlfriend. Unbeknown to me, she was from a very poor family. She was there on a special scholarship, and she never wanted to fuck with anything because of that golden opportunity that now the whole family depended on her. I can't remember what her name was.
Oh, okay.
But I had very healthy relationships. With girls, and girls, I mean just one particular girl in high school would even bring her home, and she would spend days in my family home. But that one is gone. Now boys are meeting girls when they are adults, and girls are psychologically 10 years older than they are. They are chewing them up and spitting them out. And the Kenodia is like, make a girl in Alberego. You should have known. In the quinceañera, in the sweet 16, in the prom, in homecoming, in all these activities that the Western world create for these boys and girls to interact.
Yes.
So now, in Eden, you need to cultivate a healthy environment where you autocorrect that by cultivating a healthy relationship with women.
Okay. Yes.
So that you don't see yourself as your father, and you don't see any girl as your mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When you are very comfortable with a woman, that problem goes away.
Okay.
Now I'm asking you.
Oh, if I'm comfortable with a woman. Every relationship that I've had when this habit had started, during the first month or so, I'm so engaged in that such that I don't even. In short, what I'm trying to say is the first month I never even look at. In short, it's like that addiction completely goes away. Then it just comes up. Once a little bit of anxiety kicks in or something of the sort.
Yeah. And I'm glad now you give it a name, anxiety. Yeah. What is the origin of anxiety? Remember my conversation with the Kenyan guy in San Antonio, and we are talking about the difference between anxiety and apprehension.
I think so. The San Antonio guy, is it the one whom you had land talks who has a daughter, or the one who has 2 boys?
No, the one who was comparing my message with that one of Kibe.
Okay.
And then we moved on into why Kenyans in America abuse alcohol.
Oh, I know the guy. He's the guy who was a kid who showed you his picture, the 21-year-old.
No, that one is in West Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, this one, it's actually, I only took like 25 minutes out of a 2-hour conversation. I have not posted the whole conversation.
No, okay.
Yeah, but we were talking in the context of the difference between.
I remember the topic of alcohol.
Yes, and the difference between apprehension and anxiety. You want to be apprehensive so that you can awaken your senses for preparedness. But if you are anxious, it's a byproduct of a bigger problem, and you need to tackle that problem first.
Yeah.
Anxiety is not natural.
Yes.
Anxiety is caused by fear. Fear is caused by trauma. Trauma is caused by an experience. Go all the way back to the experience and correct that problem there. In the future.
Yes.
And I don't know anybody. I don't know anything else, and somebody else can tell us something different. But I think the solution to that is cultivating a healthy relationship with a woman.
Okay.
Yeah. And now, the flow chart is also now a part of the trauma, because if there is a missed period now, it brings the memories of my program of eliminating life is not working. Life is coming against my will.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So now you have to override that with better methods of family planning that are safer for the woman.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Oh, but because to be very honest with the girlfriend that I have, once I got her, I was not of the idea of giving her all these family planning methods because I knew the extent of how they might damage her in future. So even the B2s and all those, I understood. That's why I even opted for this safer side of calculating on the safe days and in that regard. So actually, let's say that.
You know, there is a permanent solution to this, but I don't think you are ready for it because you're still carrying the burden of your father and your black tax.
So sorry, repeat that again.
There is a permanent solution to that problem, but I don't think you are ready for it because you're still paying black tax and carrying the burden of your father who should have died at 48. Now he's 53 and a burden to you.
I need to change my line.
No.
Okay. Please go on.
You are 27 years old.
Yes.
And you are making twice the money you were making 6 months ago.
Yes, correct.
And you have a 20-year-old woman.
Yes.
Marry the woman. Create a healthy relationship to override your traumas.
Okay.
The more you delay, the more she become 21, and she become 22, and she become 23. And with it, the complications that come with this obsession that you have with her flow.
True.
This is the silver bullet here that solves your trauma and kicks everybody else out of your back because now you have your own family to take care of.
Yeah.
So you are replacing the neediness of your father with the rightful use of your resources on your own family. And now cut everybody else out of the equation completely. Like block them and change your number and wear a mask in public, kind of a change.
Yes.
Cut them out. Concentrate on this golden opportunity here.
That is something to ponder on.
It's not something I would say to a 27-year-old. But you're seeking healing. But you're seeking healing from a trauma that comes from a broken family.
Yeah.
Cultivate a family that is healthy. Cultivate a relationship that is meaningful. Replace those people for your own people.
Yes.
So that you can move on. "20. Are you sure she's 20?
Yeah. She turned 20 this June.
She's 19.
Sorry?
Oh, she already turned 20 this June.
Born 2005, yes.
Hiya. People born 2005 are having sex. Legally.
Yeah, apparently.
Obama became president 2005. People born on the inauguration day are having sex.
Wait, Obama was 2008.
Oh yeah, that was George W. Bush's second term. He beat John Kerry. Sorry. Yeah. It's when Obama was giving that speech that put him on the map.
Yes,
I mean, the earlier the better. This is unlikely situation because you're 27, but your socioeconomic status has taken a turn for the best. We had that conversation in private.
Yes.
And you have the woman at the top of her sexual market value.
Yes. On her side, I don't think that is going to be a possibility. So, yeah, but I do get the whole point that you're trying to put.
Yeah.
And
so it's not going to be a possibility. Why?
For this one. Because she's yet to start university.
Huh?
She's yet to start university. Yeah, and I can't really control her parents.
The first day of her joining college will be the last day of your relationship with her. You, as a 27-year-old guy, do not want to finance a relationship of a university student girl.
Yeah, of course, that I can.
She will completely move away from your league to the league of the Wababas. I'm pointing at myself.
Yeah.
She'll be the source of reigniting.
Nitakuwa nimewafunulia soda.
Hey, Kenobia. You know what to do. You know what to do. At first I had said, I don't know what the solution is. Then I got tempted into offering one. You ace on your own.
Because you see, okay, let's shift and talk in this manner. So I'm yet, let's say for example, I'm yet to build up myself. Okay.
Because you've paid so much, you have paid so much black tax for 6 years. You've never solidified your own. Even when you get a bonus on Christmas, you spend that money on an imaginary plan from your father, a scheme he came up with about that land and the dead guy's son wanting 40K.
I'd rather use that on my family instead, my own family.
That's what I was saying. If you cut everything else out, then everything starts making sense. If you shut off the noise, then you start hearing the voice from within. What do you need to do? Because now you find yourself, oh shoot, I should have invested in this one and I don't have it. Now I need to have it. Because you have the resources.
Yes.
Your living standards have not changed. But your income has doubled.
Yeah, true.
So, shouldn't that money be feasible in changing the shape and the direction of your future?
Should.
If you miss that boat, bro, you are your father in 20 years. If you miss that boat, you are your father in 20 years. There is no escaping that.
Going back to my kids.
Yeah, but you'll be worse off because you won't have kids. Your father had you when he was
25.
Huh?
When he was 25, yes.
Yes. You're 27. You don't have that. You don't have you. So you'll be worse off. If you play this card longly, you'll be worse off than this begging baby of a 53-year-old dad that should have died at 48.
Yes.
Do you want that for yourself? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
So if you have the vantage point to see the future, and you don't like anything of the things you see in the future, you come back in the present and change that so that the future aligns
Correct.
with the plans that you would want to happen for yourself.
Correct.
Yeah. Making the kind of money you're making in Kenya, bro, you are in the top 2%.
Yes.
What is it good for if it's all going to go to black tax?
Nothing.
There is no other conversation that you have with your father that does not involve money.
Yes.
Not you asking him for money as the child, him asking you for
Yes.
money.
And you see, I also viewed it as a selfishness on his end.
Yes,
Because
reckless people are selfish. Reckless people are selfish. Let me tell you something before you even say what you're going to say.
Yes.
The people who expect the most from other people would not be that generous if they were the ones in the position to give.
True.
Just examine anybody you know. If they were the ones in the position of the people that you're asking from, they would not reciprocate. That's how selfish those kind of people are. And they know it. A leech does not give blood to any other organism. A tick is not useful to any other organism in the ecosystem of the blood exchange between it and the cow. They are always the one to be given. You bring the idea of giving them, they look at you like, who do you think I am? What do you mean? I can't hear you. What is that? They can never imagine a world where people are not solving their problem, which is where your father is. So he manipulates everybody to come talk to you, the source of his financial solution.
Yeah.
Everybody. But when he, watch this, when he has it, he's using it on women, single mothers.
True. True.
When he has it, you don't hear from him.
Completely. And you see, for me it was my dad. He farms. He has all these. I think you had commented on one of my posts on Twitter. I think that was last year. He had planted some Noe.
Mm-hmm.
And he has never even once called me to tell me, hey, I have these warus here farmed. Can I send them over to you? Because I'm in the city, there's nothing growing on here. I buy everything. He's never even pitched that idea. Hey, can I send you this? Kuna kisiagi huko, you can siaga this mahindi. Not a word. And I said I'll never propose that idea because, I mean, who am I?
And those kind of people,
find,
when they chance on resources, on money, their immediate action is to exhaust that source. Because they are so used to getting for free from other people.
Yeah.
So he exhausts this and then come begging from you. They are more comfortable getting from other people than they are making their own. And when they make their own, they waste it immediately.
You know, the information that I'm withholding from you is that my sister had called me 3 weeks ago to tell me my father has done it again.
Brought another woman.
Yes.
Cut him out of your life, bro. Cut him out. That is what? Woman number 5?
It should be. I even lost count.
There is the Kalenjin one with 1 child.
Yes.
There is the other one with 2 children. There is one that he.
No,
there is one that he.
There's the Kalenjin.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Kalenjin. There's the woman who wanted me to accept being called son.
Mm-hmm. The one he took to your grandfather.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the divorcee of the neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's this one now.
Mm-hmm.
And according to my auntie, there are several who they have a relationship, they break up and all those.
Exactly.
So you can count as 5.
Exactly. Umenitupa sana hata huwezi kuja kunipigia guo pasi. Who showed up? Who showed up?
No. To know the other point that I had mentioned earlier is now does this all tie up to these thoughts that I'm having of myself, thinking that I'm not doing enough for myself and all those? Because I want to be the best version of myself. I work hard. I stay late at work. Sorry?
How old were you when your grandfather started paying you?
When my grandfather started paying me, this is straight after high school, 2018. So I was 19, turning 20 that year.
So you've been holding money for over 7 years?
Yes.
Now, imagine a world where there was no trauma, there was no black tax, there was no needy father, and you had 7 years to build yourself. Where would you be right now? You don't touch small money.
Yes.
Your money puts you at the top of the people of your age in the earning scale. All of it.
Yes.
Every single time.
Yes.
Even when you are bargaining for your salary to be doubled, it's not getting doubled from nothing. It's getting doubled from the top of the 1 percentile of the people of your grade.
Yes.
Na iko wapi hiyo pesa? So the problem is not the income. The problem is your father. And you preemptively excluded your mother from the equation. You said you've only sent money to your mom once in 2020.
That's the only time she asked me for money.
Exactly. Every conversation, 100% of the conversations with your father is him preparing you to ask you for money, him asking you for money, him preparing you to ask you for money, him asking you for money, him preparing to ask you for money, him asking you for money.
Yes.
Do you want some of my blood or positive blood? I show you how to deal with people like that. I think it comes with the rhesus positive of the O positive. I am the president of cutting people out.
I started cutting out people, so...
No, you are saying that to feel good about yourself. Cut the white elephant in the room.
My father.
Yes. Write him, what do you call that message that is read in people's funeral?
Obituary?
Yeah. Write a very beautiful obituary. Read it over and over. He's gone. He is gone. and start building yourself.
Yeah.
Imagine if your father died right now, the burden would be on you. A guy who has been alive for 53 years.
Yes.
What the fuck? What kind of black magic backwardness is this?
Yeah. Because if the hospital bill my extended...
Oh yeah, I stopped that conversation when you started talking about him wrecking a motorcycle and going to the hospital. Let's go back there. Tell me that story.
Bro, I was at work, and no, the day of his accident, my uncle called me. But I didn't respond to his calls. But he called almost thrice. So, but I didn't respond to it. So, but my sister now called. I said I'll call him later. So my sister called. I was like, hey, my uncle called. Then my sister called. I said, I'll hold on, because at this moment I was at my grandfather's place. He was sick, so I had gone to just check up on him, how he's doing, faring on well. So now I pick up my sister's call and I ask her, hey, what's up? Why are you calling? It's late late at night. Then he tells me, hey, dad amepatikana na accident, sijui nini, amechukuliwa, amepelekwa hospitalini, na hao watu wanataka pesa walipwe juu wamempeleka hospitalini. I'm like, hi, what is happening? So I'm struck here. I don't know what is happening. So I tell her, hey, my uncle had called me. Ebu, let me check. Maybe it is the same thing. So I called him. He tells me, hey, your father has been involved in an accident. Hata nikupigiwa, tumepigiwa, whoever called. Because my father uses that small kabambe. So to open it up is very easy. So they saw the contacts. They were calling anyone and everyone. I don't know why they didn't pick up me. But then, so my uncle called and he told me what I called my uncle. Then he explained to me. Then now I called back my sister, who had said there are some people who needed to be paid. I said, what's their number? What is their number? So I had to call those guys. Ask them, hey, have you taken my dad to the hospital? Yes. So how much are you asking? Oh, it's just this amount just sent to us because we had to remove everybody from the van so that we can take your dad. Say, okay, so how much is it going to be? I think it was around 2K. I say, I have 1,500. Do you take it or... I knew already my dad is in the hospital, so you take it or what? Say, okay, then send it. So I sent the amount. Now I called my sister again and I asked him about the husband, his husband now. His husband, he told me his husband had just taken his motorbike and is headed to Nakuru to check on my dad. Then I called my other uncles who are now related to my mom, now the brothers to my mom. I asked them if they're in Nakuru. Then they told me, yeah, they've also been informed, so they're heading over there. So now the following day, my uncle, the one who is usually sent the messenger, went over. My uncle, the one who warned me of my dad's spending and all that, also went over. They were the ones who were there. Then, funny enough, the bill came. It was roughly around 20. It was 19,560 if I'm kama siko say the exact figures. So my uncle told me, hey, the bill has come, and you see he has to go. Amefanya tu scanning hapa, tumemanage kulipa 1,000, 2,000, but sasa hii ni bill inatakana ikuwe cleared so that aingizwe. I don't know, was it theater or what? I can't remember really the details, but that figure was too huge for me at that moment because my salary pia, the moment nikifinya kwa salary yangu imeniua. So they told me, oh, you see, mwanawi tu, I don't have something now. Now this is the messenger who is telling me, oh, I don't have something now. na hao wengine wameji nimerifarifa muhuko matiriga kindu tufia turia turari natuo nitutuoka natu na fea tutigetiga murwaru wa thibitari ika.
See, like, there is an option. He can die. I mean, it would solve all these problems. I mean, it's not like he's coming out of the hospital to run the marathon.
Yeah.
Or to go back to building anything. He's coming back to start begging again. Just drop dead. Bye. No? Too much.
Yeah, so they put the whole bill on me. So I don't know what to do because this is the first time I'm asked to give out a huge sum of money out of nowhere. So now I had to figure out a way to go to Mr. X and take a soft loan of that amount. Then I repay him over 4 months, I guess. Yeah, it was being now deducted from my salary for 4 months. And it used to take a toll on me because there's a loan which I had taken from my circle to do something. And now the figures were crazy. That circle was being deducted, I think, around 7,200. Now this figure I'm being deducted around 4,000 a month. So 11,000. But anyway, I just gave the amount. I sent it back.
There is no justification to use for a child to use that kind of a money for an adult human being that is wasting his life away. There is nobody, there is no devil, there is no God, there is no Jesus, there is no angel that can convince anybody that there is justification.
The worst part was one of my uncles, the brother to my mother, tried to see if his NHIF, at least if it was active, to sort the bill. Nothing.
Yeah, because he does not have any system in place to sustain life. He's a burden to everybody. Imagine even the good Samaritans who take him to the hospital. Good Samaritan asking for 2K. Good Samaritans asking to be paid. They are all participating, unbeknown unto them, into this curse of uselessness. That he is not even good to be saved for being saved sake.
Nama Modhika on my behalf.
Me, I'm a very black and white guy. I see things for what they are. I have no use or need to be swept into the emotions of the family and friendship and all blood. I don't have that. I have no use for it. I look at things in abstract. If you are exhausted, your usefulness in this world, exit. I, George, NGA. If I exhaust my usefulness in this world, I'm not going to burden my children. I will exit. Whether that is tomorrow or 29 years from today, I will exit.
Yes.
That's the mental illness in me of extreme logic. I cannot see things any other way. I can't. I would want to. I don't know how to.
Unfortunately.
No, fortunately for me. A parent being a burden to the children.
Yes.
That's an African curse. That's an African curse. That's some black curse, voodoo, mambo jumbo. That's not the order. That's not. And the same Africans that would argue with that, to the contrary, are the staunch Christians of this African Bible that says a good man shall leave his inheritance to his children and his grandchildren. The same group of black mambo jumbos, the one that took the Bible as their own. This part of the Bible, forget about that one. Let's deal with this magic here.
They say happy as the poor.
No. You as a man, I'm not saying anything about women. Women were born to know how to survive without anything other than their body. Women survive this life with nothing but their body. As a man,
Yes.
once you exhaust your usefulness, go be useful in hell. Go away. Enda kusanya kuni za kutuchoma tukifika huko, sababu tumesema utakuwa kukufa. Enda kusanya hizo kuni.
Yeah.
Now your life is stuck, not because you're not doing well financially. It's stuck because of this thing here that should have died at 48, at his prime. How is that fair? How is that fair? I mean, mtu aniambie, kuna kitu nasahau, ebu angalia it in this other way. Which other way? Show me. Which other way?
No other way.
It's not natural at all. Somebody with 25 years head start. 25 years head start. And then you become a burden to your son at the same age of the head start that you had. Not because of old age. 52 is very, very, very midlife.
Yeah. Actually, I had actually mentioned to him that Kwamba, you're not yet old. So this
Imagine. There is 40 years ahead of him. You are prepared to carry him for another 40 years?
Nah.
So why should you attempt now? I mean, where? Show me where that is natural. My father used to tell us, Okoro oreyaga onini.
Okoro ureyaga ke?
Onini.
Onini, okay.
Yes. Your old age is sustained by what you did in your youth.
Yes.
You need this energy to build a system in place that your old age is going to sustain itself with.
Correct.
If there's a disconnect there, go away. Go report me to that devil of yours and that God of yours, but go.
Something to really ponder on that.
Your future is disrupted by the actions of your father, the current actions of your father. How is that fair? In which planet is that fair? In which dynamics is that excusable? Hakuna. That is a result of selfishness. When he has, it's his. Once he exhausts what he creates in his farms, then he comes and steals from his grandchildren through you.
Yeah.
How is that natural?
It's not.
No.
It's not. Totally.
All right, man. So, where do we move from here?
Sorry?
Where do we move from here?
I need to get my act together. In terms of work, this year has been my tightest year so far, especially with the change of jobs. It has been very tight. So I'm planning to settle down. By settling down, I mean managing my system better, like putting a better system for myself, because most of my things have been disrupted. Like I told you, now being called by these side gigs, so it disrupting my sleeping patterns. Yesterday even I had to sleep at that workplace because
Bro,
I knew
you are 27. You are 27 years old.
Yes.
Stop grossing over the main problem. The main problem is not your work ethics. The main problem is the expenditure of the resources that you create. If you remove your father from the equation, then everything else falls into place. Elon Musk is older than me. He sleeps in his factories to get his purpose accomplished.
Yes.
There's nothing to be negated in you working overtime, in you even sleeping at work, to make sure that
Yes.
you are optimizing your purpose.
Yes.
No. Don't start grossing over. You are part of your work ethics with what needs to be solved. Just remove your father from the equation.
Okay.
I was talking to my son's mother not too long ago.
Okay.
And she reminded me that at some point I used to have 3 jobs.
Okay.
3 jobs. Doing what I needed to do at the time.
Yes.
And here I am now, jobless. And I will never need a job a single day of the rest of my life.
Yes.
So, what is this you are negating? That you are working extra hours? This is me now.
Yes.
I plugged in all the sockets into the future of my life for me to be able to do nothing. So what is this you're going back to and saying you are complaining because you are working extra? I used to work 3 shifts. 3 jobs. In one of the jobs, I would work the night shift. In the middle of the night, there is my 30 minutes break that I have to clock out. I would go home. I lived close to work. I would drive home, take a shower, and change into a new uniform, a fresh uniform. Then come back, clock in. When the shift ended at 6 o'clock, I go straight to my 7 o'clock job.
You only have an hour.
7 to 3. Then I'll go home, sleep from 4 o'clock to 9:30, and then 10 o'clock, I'm back at the night job. So which part of that should I go back to and say I should not have done that? But I'm here now, having bought my time with my energy for the future.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to work for money. The money does the work.
For you.
Yes. So, stop focusing on the wrong thing. No. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing at 27. You are building yourself for now and for the future. The problem is, when you do all that, this thief called your father creates projects to continually take away from you and from his grandchildren, shamelessly. Cut him loose. What did you say that letter is that people read in funerals?
Obituary.
Write an obituary. Put it on the front of the door as you live in the house. He is dead to me. That's why I'm working extra hard for his grandchildren that he will never see. Mimi sio mtu mzuri.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right? Imagine you at his age complaining that you spent all your energy and resources on your who will be already dead father. What kind of a fucking excuse that be? Now, go in the future and fix that shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, totally understood.
I think we are done here.
Yeah, we are done. Thank you so much, George.
All right?
I never thought that part I needed to hear, but I needed something to hear of that sort.
Mimi sio mtu mzuri. Mimi sina haja na uzuri. I was given a choice to be nice or to be real, and I said, give me real, a double portion. Take the niceness to yourself.
One last question I have for you. This is in terms of investment, okay?
Yes.
There's an advice you had given way back around, I think, 2-3 years ago. You had said that if you went back 10 years ago and you start investing, you would save in dollars.
Yes.
So recently, I opened a USD savings account.